Welcome back to a Saturday podcast. I'm your host, Victor. I'm my co-host, Marcus, at my right. What's going on, bro?
Chilling, bro.
What's popping? What did I miss?
Not much, really. Same old, you know. Doing life, doing the work. Doing the usual. How's it been for you?
Living like Larry. It's been good. Nothing new. Wore the same outfit 2 episodes in a row. It's okay. I'm not mad about it. I know what you're talking about. It's a black t-shirt. Give me fast. Not me. I'm not mad about it. But yeah, there was something I wanted to talk to you about, and it completely left my mind up until now. But no, yeah, I got it back though. Yeah, see how it works, just like that. Are you familiar with? I mean, we talked about it before, but have you been listening to any AI music by any chance?
No.
So I have something that kind of freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie. One day I walked into my barbershop, and they were playing music, and all of it was AI music. It was a full Drake album in AI. And I didn't know the difference until I looked at the screen.
Really?
And the way they spell it is Draike. So it was Dre AI.
J-I-K.
Uh-huh.
J-I-A.
Yeah, all that. But she already got the AI.
Exactly.
And it had features with like Lil Baby and The Weeknd. I'm getting emotional.
It's happening.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get these episodes out for y'all, but I'm dying. So yeah, it was a full album, and I believe I sent it to Quinn, and it was good, and it scared me. So I was like, "What the fuck? Why is this a thing?" And yeah, I'll try to find it for you if I could play a little bit for you, but it's a little spooky what be happening out here in these streets with this AI shit. And now, for the same reason, there's that whole Hollywood strike with the directors and the actors. Now that like both sides are on strike for the very reason. Do you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about the actor thing. I heard that they also are like pausing the filming of
Everything.
Basically everything. Yeah. I saw that too. And I was just like, dang.
So that's going on. And one thing that I saw that was very weird that I think initially like everybody was like, all right, like that's enough. Because first it was just a writer's strike. And now it switched over to the actors as well, actors and actresses. Because supposedly there was like this AI thing that they were like trying to propose where like if you sign a contract or an agreement where you basically give them permission to use your likeness and you still get a percentage for them basically using your face in AI as opposed to you having to work. So I guess in their eyes they were just like, or like the people that proposed it were like, oh, like, hey, you don't have to work anymore. We can just use your face to sell a movie. We'll give you a cut and that's it. And I think that kind of scared the actors and actresses, or like that was just like, that's just mad weird. And a lot of them probably just like, hey, like we like our job, like we like to act, like you don't have to do any of that.
Like it's almost the idea where it's like, bro, like some people might say like, even like young people might be like, yo, like I still want to like do my own acting. Like I didn't just get in this career just recently for like 5 years, 10 years down the line to just be replaced. Like that's not what I was here to, what my dream was.
Like I did this because I love to do this shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna like fully like just lay it out. So SAG-AFTRA has joined the Writers Guild of America in demanding a contract that explicitly demands AI regulations to protect writers and the workers they create. So basically what I was just saying, how like ever since AI has been a thing, one of the main things has been like using ChatGPT to like write scripts and like write stories and news headlines and news articles, essentially getting a lot of people laid off for their work. And since it's so new, people are just kind of like hopping on it now since there's so little regulation of just like using it. And everybody's just, I guess, in a way playing catch up. So yeah, a lot of like news, like famous news platforms you would think of, like New York Times, like the New York Post, BuzzFeed at one point, like I think they went through huge layoffs, and a lot of other places they're just like cutting off a lot of their writers and just be like, hey, I'm just gonna throw this into ChatGPT, see what they give me back, and put that up instead because I don't have to pay ChatGPT. And they're legally able to do so because this is also new, and like we're seeing all this shit evolve in front of our very eyes in a sense. Because we've already seen like deep fakes and how weird that can get, and now people who are making AI music are getting sued because they're using their voice, and they can essentially make them say whatever they want. Or like now, what gets even scarier with the AI shit that I like told you about just now, I've seen it myself where like people on TikTok or like, so say, for example, like when music would leak, right? You would know that it's the person that made it because it sounds like them. Now you can just make AI music, call it a leak, and people will not know the difference.
Yeah, as long as you do
There are songs where like even on YouTube comments or like TikTok comments where like there are songs that I knew leaked years ago. Like I knew of them, they just never released by Drake or anybody else. And people in the comments who've never heard it, they're like, I don't know if this is AI or this is a leak. Cause this is their first time hearing it. AI sounds so similar. Like
not to mention if you never really heard of it, you wouldn't think anything of it. You know what I mean? Like unless you really know like the history, like you said, that you've heard before. But if people who've never heard it before,
they're gonna,
like,
especially because AI has been so popular lately. There's no way of them knowing.
If you say that thing came out so long ago, your best bet will be like, oh, it just sounds weird because it's just so long ago. It's probably just what it sounds like.
Yeah, like, and it's a leak. It's not a fully finished version. Exactly. So if there's a mistake in there,
probably just because
it's a leak and it was never meant to be heard.
Product, you know? Yeah.
So now people are getting sued for that as well because it sounds exactly alike. In some cases, the only thing that's missing, which I'm sure is going to learn how to do better as this shit gets better and better as like technology just improves, is like the cadence and way people say their words. Like, you can say their tone of voice, but you can't imitate or tell AI, at least right now, how to say these things.
Yeah.
Because like somebody's speaking voice isn't the same as their rapping voice.
Yeah.
So unless they have like further data from the past to use that, they're not gonna sound like it. Because they made Tyler Creator sing Gold Digger by Kanye West, and he said it in this monotone voice. It sounded like Tyler, but it wasn't said how he would rap it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's weird. You gotta get like the small tendencies.
Yeah. So that's where that gap where like technology can never replace a human yet. Yeah. Is that whereas like the personality, the human aspect of it is always going to be missing with technology. So yeah, people are getting sued for that. The Writers Guild, they're basically trying to, I guess, do deep fakes, but like with permission. But like all this is so new, they're on strike with it. They're calling for more regulations. I'm guessing after a certain point, if we keep pushing for it, it's going to get to the point where like, you know, now with work, you're not supposed to discriminate based on, you know, color, religion, age. You probably won't be able to discriminate or like deny someone a job because of technology in a way, if that makes sense. Like they're probably going to restrict it where like you can't fully replace us because you have technology that can do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure. There's going to be a way to like limit this where like only like a certain amount of your workforce can be AI used.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Depending on what you're working.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because like self-checkout is one thing, but like to just fully say, hey, we don't need humans to write stories anymore.
Yeah. It's just like, you got to understand like the human brain itself just works in a really different way. And you can't just take away the human, I guess, consciousness of feeling a certain way or telling past stories, you know what I mean? Like life experiences, you know, because they're not going through any experiences. They're just getting put into what someone else told them.
Yeah, database. And it's all those things, the information they're recording is based off of human experience.
Exactly.
Same thing with the voices. Like the way that they're so good at imitating Drake's voice or whoever it may be, is they're taking all past recordings of his voice, whether it be interviews, music recordings, like films, whatever it may be, compiling all of that and just formulating it into this little filter where it sounds like Drake. So without that part, it's not going to be able to succeed. Yeah. Now it does get weird. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say it all just kind of stems back to just like human in itself, you know, like it can't just come from nothing, you know.
Yeah. And now it also gets weird as well now because there's like, not AI, I guess it is still AI. I don't know what to technically call it. They're like digital influencers. I don't know if you've seen them. It's almost like essentially like a VTuber.
Okay.
Where you're just like this figure. You can make yourself look like this anime figure, or there's a guy out there who's like a pig man and he has like millions and millions of followers on Instagram. There's like digital rappers, but like they aren't real people. They're just like drawings, but because there's AI, you can make videos of them moving or whatever it may be. The other day there was a concert for a VTuber that people went to. And it was just a blown up screen of like the V2 guy. And he's like backstage, I guess, controlling everything. People were losing their fucking minds. The place was sold out. And I guess the VTuber releases music under that alias of the VTuber. Yeah. So people all went to see that thing, and they were like crying and like screaming like as if it was a real person.
Yeah, that's wild.
So it's just like weirdly evolving, whereas like right now people are able to make money off it and like move so quick with it, but it's gonna like we have to catch up and like before it gets weird, because there's also like abuse of it as well, and there's like the dark side of it where it's like now it's cool on TikTok where it's funny because they'll make like Patrick sing like Luther Vandross, and it's like that's funny.
It's entertainment for right now.
But then you can make anybody say anything that can get the real person in trouble. Or you can pull their face and like not to be too dark about it, but there's like such things as like AI or like deepfake porn where you're using real people's faces to basically make money off of something that they didn't agree to. You have them shown as a naked body, even if it's not their actual body. Yeah. All that stuff still affects their image as a person. I'm pretty sure Pokemon has like gone through something like that already, where another Twitch person like admitted to watching it and like he got in trouble and like had to apologize to her. And it was just like a bunch of other weird shit. But it's just like very weird and not cool. It's creepy.
I guess in itself, like you said, because like it's not really nothing you can really do about it right now. You'll probably get away with it. But I would consider that like defamation, you know?
It is. And that's what you'd be able to sue them for, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
But there has to be something further to it with this AI shit, because it's like it's very accessible, and especially for people like that, you can make so much shit, so many fake things look real. Look at the fucking, have you seen Drake's concerts?
Yeah, I saw the most recent thing with the whole thing of him sitting next to him.
He was sitting on the chair and the couch, and it was like his younger self next to him. In my head, I thought that at first, when I first saw the video, I thought it was a hologram, like shown on the couch. Same. But then that kid handed him a book. So I was like, oh, fuck, this is a real person. Yeah. So my understanding of it is that there was a kid. For the people back home, like.
Yeah. So, no. I was just saying, like, I knew what you were gonna say about it. Yeah.
So there's a kid sitting on the couch that like looks close enough to him, but they also on the big screen they'll have like a filter essentially on his face that makes it look more like young Drake. Or I don't know if you've seen that commercial with Charles Barkley, where he's sitting next to himself, his younger self.
Yeah.
And it's him, like when he used to be a player, and he's talking to himself, and they have the same voice. Now it looks a little weird, but still like. It's gonna get better. Like this is very early on.
Yeah. Before it was that whole thing with like LeBron, but that was like
that was like a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, but I think that was more like animation. You know, like the whole body and stuff. But no, I think I remember hearing him say that it was the same thing, kind of
like a kid, but they just put
kind of similar. Like they got somebody who could look as close as possible, but then they also used like some shit to kind of fit his
augment it. Yeah. But then at the same time, he was agreed to it.
Oh yeah, that's different. Like, because
Drake agreed to it. Charles Barkley agreed to it. LeBron agreed to it.
That was the point of it, to do that. But for somebody to go out of their way, even though somebody didn't consent to it, that's where it's going to start getting out of pocket.
Which I'm just saying, that's the good side of it. That's where it's like, yo, it could be really dope because you can artistically make something cool like that. Because like LeBron had that whole commercial. The younger stuff is watching the commercial, people hyping him up. And he asks his older self, like, hey, like, do I meet to the standard? Do I live up to the hype? And he's like, just wait and see. Like, that's tough. Yeah. Cool story. Charles, it was like I forgot what the commercial was for. It was like for insurance or something. Yeah, Subway. It might have been Subway. And he's talking to him, and he's like, oh yeah, like, Subway footlong, da da da. But his younger self is like, oh yeah, how many rings did we win? And the joke is that he never won a ring when he was a player. So he's like, oh, like you'll just wait and see. And he's like, I bet there's a whole bunch of them. He's like, no.
Yeah, bro, a whole bunch.
It's crazy. So, and then with the Drake thing, that's awesome. Like his tickets were expensive as fuck, but like the people that bought those tickets and didn't know what it was gonna be, if I saw that, like, yo, like that's awesome. Like,
I got my experience.
He put time and thought into the show. He also singing his own music, taking people back to the time when he was writing that music. It's like a story. Like that's fire. Like I appreciated that, even though I'm not fucking going on, unless somebody fucking hands me tickets.
Yeah, I'm not spending that much money. No matter where I sit, my pocket's gonna be down.
Yeah, I gotta eat, so I gotta get gas to get home. Exactly. But so yeah,
I saw some other out of pocket stuff though. That man was doing at his show.
What, the bras?
That, and I saw that he was putting like sperm flying around. It's like you didn't see that? Oh, look it up. It's there.
Sperm?
Yeah, in his concert.
What do I look up? I'm not gonna type in Drake sperm.
Yeah, don't type in exactly that. No, that wouldn't be good.
Drake concert sperm.
Drake concert.
Sorry.
Yeah, I guess something like that. Like recent Drake concert, like special effects, because like that's what it was. It was like he had a bunch of like kind of like virtually around the whole.
I had to look up Drake concert sperm. Opening the tour United Center Chicago on Wednesday, Drake and 21 Savage delivered a mammoth 48-song set. The rapper at one point performed as a large hologram of a sperm floated above him.
Yeah, there you go.
One giant sperm?
There was multiple, bro.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
I saw the video, but there was multiple. Them Jones was flying around. So you would see that part where he is talking with his younger self.
Mm-hmm.
But now imagine you're there, and then this is also what you see.
Is it sperm though?
I don't know what else you would call that, bro. They're white specks with tails. I mean, what are we calling that? Dust particles?
Yeah, it's sperm.
Yeah, I don't know what else.
No, because at first I just saw like little white circles going in a circle. I'm like, oh, that's just for, like, for effect, like just to look cool. That's sperm.
Yeah, he had a bunch of those. So it's like I just imagine seeing that first, and you're like, bro, this joint is dope. I bet his whole concert for this shit. Next thing you know, you're just
sperm.
Like, what the fuck is that?
Was there a speech attached to that he explained?
I don't know, bro. I wasn't there, but I never seen videos, and then there's also a video of man, I didn't like it obviously, but there is also, I guess, showing of I guess what 21 Savage had, and it was like an eggplant emoji and a peach one kind of going
into each other.
Yeah, and it was like under them, like that's what the floor kind of was like showing. It was like repeated, and I was like, what the hell is that? I saw it on Twitter. I was like, ain't no way these niggas did this. And I'm like, bro, that's just so uncomfortable to kind of see. And the person quoted the tweet. They were like, yo, they really had to look at this jump and be like, yeah, this is a good idea. Like, this is dope. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
These niggas really had to look at that and be like, yeah, we want this to be there.
Like, remember what I was saying about the couch and the AI? I take it back. You ruined the Drake son.
Yeah, I was just, it was very weird. I was very confused. I was like, I would leave it up to Drake to do some shit like that. Don't get me wrong, he's the only person I can see do that 100% because he likes to be different in his own way, which I mean, I respect, cool, but sometimes he just takes it in a way. Because there's like Kanye different and there's Drake different.
Yeah.
Two different people. It's just Drake tries to be that weird.
One of them is trying.
Yeah, one of them is trying, and the other one is
the other one's just different.
Just different, yeah.
I'm not saying in a good or bad way. I'm just saying he's just different.
Just from the outside
he's eclectic.
standpoint. From the outside, standpoint, you could just tell. So Drake is that person. You're just like, yeah, I could expect that. And then I'm just like, why? Like, I don't know how I feel going to the concert. And I'm like, wow, I was not expecting. You're right. I wasn't expecting this at all. You got me. Ooh, it's like crazy surprise, but just like, why?
Yeah. It's like one of them is acting crazy. One of them is not.
Yeah.
Or acting different.
Yeah. So that's what I saw. I was like, wow, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, and I saw the bra thing where it was like, he just talked about how much he loved breasts, and like I think the girl threw a bra up, and it just became like everybody was throwing bras up.
I think he at that point was like telling people to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody threw a Jordan up there.
A Jordan?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No,
yeah,
I just saw the bras.
Yeah, there was a clip. Yeah.
He was like, we don't discriminate, little ones too. And somebody threw a little one, and he was like, oh, did they just give out tickets to like everybody with big titties? Oh my god! And just his own voice.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. He said, "Jeez Louise,
these are crazy, eh?
These are some melons.
These are massive.
Wowzers!
Holy smokes!" But yeah, there was that, and then somebody threw a Jordan, and they were, what did he say? He said something obviously like funny and smart about it. I was just like, what the hell? But yeah, somebody threw like one pair, so then they were like, yeah, some boy really is out there just with like one shoe on in the concert. Like, he basically just got one shoe on for the rest of the concert.
Is that the equivalent of a bra?
I guess so. Jordan. For a guy, he's just like, yeah, I love you, Drake.
Somebody threw up not an implant, but it was like just to like make their chest look bigger. It's like a little chicken cutlet looking thing. Somebody threw that up there.
Oh,
he caught it. He's like, oh, take it, okay.
Take it, eh?
But yeah, I'm gonna try and play a little something for you, just so you can hear this Drake AI album shit that I heard. I was like, yo, like I know it's not that big of a deal, but I was in the barbershop like kind of creeped out. I was like, is this gonna be like the regular thing now? Is this where I start to get old?
So
and like I'm like this is scary.
So is this gonna be similar to what we did before? Because I remember we did that last time. Remember?
Yeah, but that was like that is nothing compared to what I'm about to show you.
Okay.
Like in terms of the quality, it's not the same.
The upgrade.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
big time. Here it is.
Gotcha. Just see this
It got removed. See if I can type in his name again and come up. Yeah, I mean, he probably got hit with a cease and desist, to be honest. Excuse me. AI mixtape. So here's a whole different one that came out a month ago.
Same person?
No. It's called Drake AI Nights on Road full album, which is a Drake name for an album.
Nights on Road. I mean, that just sounds like a late night vibe.
And the people in the comments like, wow, this is so good. Or like Drake been my favorite rapper since 09. It's sad he stopped making music this good.
See, and that's what's crazy because now people are gonna start making music that they want Drake to make.
Yeah.
Because he's not making it.
Exactly. Or they're just like, oh, like I want like people gonna be like, oh, Kanye, I wish you made another Graduation and go and make another Graduation.
Exactly. When I'm tired, I can't let my guard down. It's not the right time. I hear it a little bit.
I'm not feeling this one.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it, but I hear it a little bit. It sounds like somebody else.
Yeah.
Worse.
666.
I see it.
But yeah, and then somebody else just commented under that, and they were like, "We don't even need artists anymore. All we need is 9 minutes of their voice, and we can do the rest." That's not cool though. Like, that's not okay.
Because of how I picture it is that how it would work is they call the artist in, right? They'll get him in the booth, and they're like, "Yo, all we really need you to say is just these couple words. Say it in these kind of tones." And all we need you for is like 2 hours, you know, just say these words in these tones, do some expressions like this.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't have to be in the studio anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Just get that first. All we need is 2 hours of you for that. And then that's it. We can make a song for him.
Or like even an up and coming artist, I could make a song with Drake tomorrow. I don't even need connection. I'll get in trouble. But like, for example, say if I wanted to do that, right? Say, oh, I'm a new artist. I want to pop off. I want to feature with like a big artist, but obviously I can't get that. I can make a fire song, like make sure like it's my craziest shit, crazy production, crazy lyrics on my part. I make my verse on point, do the Drake AI shit, throw him on there. Let that shit blow up. If it catches his attention, even if he's like Drake's like, yo, take it down. If it gets enough buzz, it might get to the point where people are like, yo, like he's fire though. Let's get him on a track together. Like if everybody was popping off for that song, Drake might be like, oh, but let's make a real song real quick.
Hey man, let me talk to you.
And then the rest of your life has changed. If it goes well. On the other side, it might be that you get in trouble and sued and you might, you know, be needy. Yeah. But like that's a possibility where you could be like, oh,
take the risk.
Yeah, like if you do it right, there's a chance that somebody be like, oh, like take this shit down, but like I fuck with you. Like clearly we sound good together. Let's put something together.
Yeah.
So I'm announcing my music career tomorrow. Catch me in my new song with Drake coming out tomorrow. Nights on Road, things on that.
What's your rapper name?
I would just keep my name.
Vic?
Victor. It's already pretty.
Everybody come out tomorrow night to see Victor.
Yeah. Or just keep it Vic, something like that. There's
keep
also
it Vic. There you go.
No, not that. I meant just Vic.
Just Vic. Okay, I like that better. So
but then there's people like Vic Mensa already out there, so it's like it's tough. So I'll probably just keep my first name. I feel like anything outside of that has to be given to you. Anything else just sounds corny. Sounds like you're trying too hard.
I like rappers that have like their actual name, you know, in a sense. But I like,
or at least some variation of it.
I like, some variation, or more so. I like simple names because I hate when it's just so long. Like Lil Wayne, that was cool. You know, it was like the first Lil, you know, in a sense. Like it was cool. Now you're just getting too many of them. And it's just like
Lil Yachty, Lil Yeet.
Lil Yeet, you know, it's
Lil
just
B.
too much. Yeah, it's just too
Lil
much.
Uzi Vert.
And that's why I'm like, bro, I like you ever realize a lot of the like best artists are just people with the most simplest names. Like I know
Drake.
Yeah, Drake. Got Kanye West. I know it's like two names,
but it's still his name.
Exactly.
That's literally his name.
Kanye, and then he even made it better and just put Ye. Like you know what I mean?
Easy.
Exactly. And then you got J. Cole. It's just
Jermaine Cole.
Exactly. It's literally just simple.
Jermaine Cole.
And you
Kendrick
got
Lamar.
Kendrick. It's just Kendrick. Then you get K. Dot. Like it's so simple. Like you can make a name that's that simple. People are gonna like you. Don't worry. You don't gotta follow the script of past previous rappers and try to like put some. I don't know. That's how I like it. So I usually appreciate when rappers just have simple names. It's easy. Like, why do you got to put so much craziness into it?
Yeah.
Mm.
So it just works. Whenever it's too long, it's like, even then, some people might not even use it. Like you think about like XXX Tentacion.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like X.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, yeah. Sometimes it's just no point. You know, I feel like you get more respect when people see like, oh, okay, it seems like he's trying so hard to get a name.
Or like Ski Mask the Slum God. It's like everybody just calls you Ski Mask or Ski.
Just Ski. That's what I would say. Just Ski. Yeah. I feel like you also don't get like lost or forgotten that way. You know, because when you make it unique and simple, people are never gonna forget that.
True. But yeah, that was pretty much the end of that. So and damn it, that was his name. Oh, Juice WRLD. I was trying to remember his name. Forgot. Every time I like randomly think about how like he passed away.
It's kind of crazy.
Like, and the way it happened too. It was like a lot of like short span between like him, Pop Smoke, Kobe, all that shit was like.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, that year was crazy, bro.
It was like every other week somebody else was checking out.
We were like, bro, what's going on, bro?
I think did Nipsey die that same year?
I feel like I want to say the year before that.
Maybe, but it was still close by.
Yeah, definitely for sure it was close, but it was just like that.
You know what's another thing that I was gonna bring up too? Cause he talked about like the Jonah Hill shit. I know this is his last episode, but he acts and like kisses women and like does all that other shit. He just did a movie with Lauren London. And y'all know Lauren London. All respect to Nipsey, but Lauren London is a gorgeous woman. So you're not gonna tell me he wasn't being weird. Anyway, back to that was last week. This is this week.
It's a little ad bit to that. So go back. Man.
You know when you have like an argument with somebody, like, damn, I should have said that. That was just that was me just now.
I would have said that. I would have won that.
Yeah. But yeah, the AI shit is weird as fuck, bro. And I don't know what it's gonna take, but it's gonna become. Even like in schools, people are like writing full essays with ChatGPT, and like it worked for a little bit. But I think now teachers already have something that recognizes that they're using it. Because a friend of mine was telling me that they submitted an essay. And then their professor like accused them of using ChatGPT, and I was like, "Well, did you?" And they were like, "Maybe."
But why is that the point?
Yeah.
Why is that the point, huh?
Are you his nephew or something? Are you?
Why, huh?
Are you an op? Where's your wire?
Exactly.
It was like, yeah, like people are catching up, but at the same like the damage is done in a way. And it's like, what if? Like, how does that even work though? How are they able to identify that?
I don't know.
What part of it leaves a trace? It's just text.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's probably something that...
Because the algorithm is
I would say a little
like
bit...
similar.
I would say, yeah, a little bit of that. I would say to do that, you would obviously, I would say, look over it. Don't just say... Okay,
or tweak it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Copy off of ChatGPT.
Exactly.
Just don't let them know that you copied. This is like if you copy off a friend.
Exactly.
Just don't make it obvious.
Use your own words, as people would say. Put it in your own words.
But now that I think about it now, it kind of makes sense because if, for example, you're writing an essay for school, right? And it's all about the same thing that the entire class is studying. If y'all all type the same shit or similar shit to ChatGPT, you might get a similar result.
Sure, 100%.
Which probably gives you away.
Exactly. The only way is that you get the prompt.
We graduated at the wrong time, bro.
As long as you give a prompt that's a bit different, I guess, then it'll probably write something different. But I'm thinking it's also more so when it writes stuff up, it probably leaves things in there that probably would be messed up. Maybe there's a lowercase star or something. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's too much of a space in between something. Like I feel like it can't be 100% perfect. I want to say it's probably like 98% perfect for sure. But I'm sure there's definitely some parts in there where you obviously can tell. If you don't look over it, yeah, you're probably going to get caught for sure.
Yeah. That's wild though. Can you imagine if we had that in high school, bro?
You'd be like, yo, I got this 10-page essay. But we can still go out because we got chat.
Bro, you know how much sleep I would have gotten in high school?
Not a worry in the world, stress-free. Everybody's wondering and asking you, bro, how did you just live your life through college? Bro, I just live it, man.
But then that's the bad part too. Then you can't write for shit because you just lean
True.
on
If you ever need something in the future,
lean on that crutch. But again, like it helps. But then again, it's like because it's like I've been out of college for what 2 years now. Been out of high school for 6 years now. I haven't seen Signpost Tan in years, bro. So it's like shit like that. It's like I would use it for that. Good that, but at the same time, there might come a point where you need to write something like a resume or some type of letter of anything, and it comes out. Like right now, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm happy that it happened that way. My writing is really fucking good from college and like high school and shit. Like I really like they pushed that shit onto me, and I used to hate writing, and I'm like decent at it now. So I'm happy it happened. But younger me would have used the fuck out of ChatGPT. I would have been. He'd have been like, bro, like, get on zombies. I'm like, bro, I got this paper. But like, bro, ChatGPT. I'm like, bro, you right.
You're right. I'm getting on in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Just give me a bit, bro. I'll be right there. I promise you.
Yeah, bro, for sure.
And that's the scary part too as well, where it's like as technology continues to advance, like a lot of these things are going to be available and like it makes life more convenient. But then at the same time, you lose a lot of those skills and those things that like may be useful in a real life setting. The same way that like we can't remember a phone number to save our fucking lives anymore. But back then, you know, we'd be a lot better at it because you had to either write it down or keep that shit in your head or directions somewhere because you're so used to having a GPS. Now it's like with ChatGPT or like maybe people even said the same thing with calculators. So it's like, oh, before you had to write that shit out or like just memorize how to do a lot of that mental math. And now you have the crutch of having a calculator or having something like, what's that math thing that we used to use? There used to be an app for math that would like solve certain problems for you if you just type.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember though.
Shit like that is like, yes, it's helpful, but it also cripples you in a way because you don't know how to do that shit. But then I'm for it when it comes to shit that like I know I'm not gonna use. You know what I mean? Because like that school system shit is bullshit. Outside of like learning how to spell, write, and do basic math. Yeah. Because most of us aren't using that. Unless I'm gonna go become an engineer and shit, then that's different.
Yeah, it really comes into like. I feel like everybody should be taught the basic bit of it. But then, like, at a certain point, you should be asked, like, and it's kind of hard because at that point, you really can't trust or really, I would say, really go with what a kid really wants at that time because they're not an adult yet.
I'm graduating. I'm still.
You know what I mean? So you can't just go because what I was going to say is that you take them through the basic task, but at some point you go and ask the kid like, hey, like, what do you really want to do?
Or it should at least be optional. It shouldn't be like, yo, you can't get your diploma if you can't do this shit.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's not even at all close to anything you want to do with your life.
Because what if I want to be a fucking artist or I just want to go do like carpentry or some shit? Like, yeah, like you're gonna need math. Yeah. But I'm not gonna need to know like what secant and all that other shit. I keep clinging to that, but like, or tan or like all that other shit. Like, I'm not gonna need that. I just need to know how to measure and shit.
Exactly. Because like, I feel like for me, it's like, okay, so if you take that away, just get them to the basics and you ask them, like, say, I want to be an artist. It's like, okay, so then in the meantime, we'll take that out and fill that space with stuff that is relevant to what you want to do. Mm-hmm. So you have more time around it, more time, like, getting inspired by it rather than
or at least teach you things that will translate towards that.
Exactly, yeah. Rather than me sit you in a room and fill it with time of stuff that you don't want to do, when instead I could put it with stuff you want to do and it actually makes sense. Yeah. What's the point? I'm not going to do that.
There was this guy on TikTok. He was showing everybody like a plugin for like music production, and he was like that his music professor, taught him it on his last day of class. He was like, I like that because he, at least the whole semester, he taught him like the legitimate way to do it. But then on the last day of school, he was like, oh, if you just download this plugin, this does all the stuff that I taught you, it does it for you. Mm-hmm. Basically, I just wanted to teach you so you know how to do it yourself. Because if I showed you this day one of school, you weren't going to fucking learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because there's the same situation. I mean, not in detail with that, but like in high school, I remember it was math class, obviously. And it was based off like the whole calculator. And my teacher told us, he was like, or I don't even think it was during class. I think it was like after school or something like that. And we were just there just trying to like finish the homework or whatever. And he was telling us like, yeah, you know, like your calculator can literally do this whole thing for you, but I'm not going to show you how to do it because then like you're not going to learn how to do it. And in my head, I always was so in amazement because I'm just like, bro, I want to learn it. Just because like, bro, this would be so easier. I just figured it out and just always had the homework right 100% instead of me having all these like extra fucking work on the side. But yeah, that's just how it was. Same situation, like I said. It's like, oh, okay, I can show you how to do it, you know. on the calculator, get it done in like 2 seconds, obviously. But if I show you actually how to do it, it'd just be better in the long run.
Yeah, because then you don't know how to actually do it. You just know how to type shit into a computer.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that there, then what are you gonna do?
Hey, bro, just not do it.
Shit out of luck.
I'll tell them, hey, look, I'm sorry. Just not feeling well today. I can't do it. Sorry.
Try again tomorrow.
Try again tomorrow when I have my calculator with me.
But we out of time here, so we're gonna start getting up out of here. Moral of the story is make sure you still know how to do shit. Don't let AI get too out of control, even though it is fun. I like watching the videos of cartoon Plankton be singing his ass off because of AI. I don't know if you've seen those videos.
I've seen Mr. Krabs.
Him too.
Sing Michael Jackson.
That too. It's awesome, but don't abuse it. Mark, where can they find you?
You can find me Instagram, ETC Marky Mark, Twitter, Marky Mark as well. Victor, where can they find you, etc.
Find us everywhere at ETC Victor for myself and Real etc. for our whole thing shebang that we do. The links for that are on the description. And thank you guys so much for watching every week. We appreciate you guys so much. On our way to 1 million views on the channel. On our way to 1,500 subs if we're not already there on the channel as is. And we're making our way to 2 grands. 100 grands. Pots and pans. Mark, you my mans. We'll catch you guys next week.
Can you
Deuces.
discuss it, man?